Here's my acting. Ready for this? Here we go. Say it again. Say I'm in the family.
You're in the family.
So you love me. You mean you really love me? Oh, Dominick.
And this is why we have a panel of judges, so we make sure that...
Now, broadcasting live from the Podcast Palace on Park Street in beautiful and dangerous Clearwater, Florida, it's the Comedians Uncorked podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Tony Gaud and Pat Largo.
Hey guys, thanks again for taking time to check out the Comedians Uncorked podcast. My name is Pat Largo. Another great guest we have on this episode, a man named Dominick Racano, a special gentleman who is from the Bronx, New York, and decides to live in Atlanta, in Georgia. He's not out of his comfort zone. The man's a professional. He's a good-looking son of a gun, too. Thanks for being on the show with us, man.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. This shading right now is definitely helping my good looks.
It's all about lighting, my friend. And if people don't know, Dominick is, he's more acting than comedy, but he created a really cool thing, the ATL, the All the Laughs Comedy Awards. And I believe you started this whole, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, but this came officially, was it in 2020, right? During the height of COVID?
That's correct. Yes. I lost all three of my jobs at once. And with all this extra time, I just started writing, producing, and sending out scripts and having people film sketches and whatnot to make people laugh while they're stuck at home.
Wow.
And it was a pretty great and creatively rewarding time. So I wanted to reach out and see if other people were doing this. And not to my surprise, because creatives always find a way, there was a lot of people doing this. So I wanted something to recognize and reward all these people that are making people laugh when the world needs it the most. And that's where All the Laughs started.
And that's awesome. And before we even get into the birth of that, take us back, your entertainment background. I know you're an actor, but I know you're from the Northeast, right? From New York. When did this all take place? When you were a little Dominick? Like, when did you first start to know? You're like, man, I really, I want to do some different stuff here.
Yeah, no, I've always loved acting and comedy. When I was younger, comedy got me out of a lot of fights. Just if I can make people laugh, I don't get my ass kicked.
Dude, real quick, I had the same thing because I was very geeky growing up. I still wear glasses, but I was very geeky, like, in elementary school and junior high. And before I started to lift weights and play football and stuff in high school, I was that thing too. And I was like, wow. And that's funny you said that. I felt the funnier if I could just kind of, dissuade people from being mad at me or trying to take a punch at me by trying to be funny all the time, it would be best that way than to try to fight. So yeah. That's funny you said that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And there's I always think comedy is so healing. And now comedy sometimes is not healing. It's hurting. So I just want to make sure there's still a platform for where, comedy can be healing and bridge gaps and let people know about everyone else's perspective and be able to laugh and relate on some level.
Cool. Now, I know you mentioned comedy and wanting to make people laugh, but then you went the direction of acting, right? When did that kind of take precedence in your life?
Well, yeah, I mean, I did stand up. So yeah, basically I wanted to act all my life. But when it came time to go to college, I didn't think this was a career. So I switched gears. But then, the corporate world makes you want to, well, at least for me, I needed an outlet. So I would do open mics, and I started doing stand-up to burn off some steam. And that was my gateway to get back into acting and filmmaking and all that stuff. So yeah, I would, I had a lot of fun on stage, and I loved the process of writing comedy. I didn't really want to play into the, doing the same set every night in order to perfect it type of thing. Even though it was a different audience, I got tired of doing the same routine. And that's not, very good for getting better. So I would come up with 90% new material every night and then just pepper in 10%. And it just got exhausting and I just wasn't having fun anymore.
Wow.
But I started taking acting classes to help me with my, stage presence. And the acting, just rekindled that muscle memory, and that was more the route I wanted to go. But because of my look, I always get the bad guy role, the cop, security guard. So took it into my own hands and created my own comedy, in front of the camera and behind the camera.
Yeah, I know, right? You get like the Russian bodyguard parts and stuff like that. So that's now. Were you doing stuff like this though in high school, like theater and things like that?
Yeah, and actually, in high school, I was a pretty smart kid, but English, I struggled in English, and I had this one, really amazing English teacher. And he's like, "This is not for you." He goes, "I'm going to write a curriculum just for you." And he did a creative writing class, a video production class, and oh my gosh, it was just amazing. Like, so every week we would write, commercials and comedy sketches and like all these different things. And oh my gosh, it was just wonderful. Yeah.
So this teacher did a special curriculum just for you. Did he make you sleep with him?
No. And actually, it was really cool because like he's always been part of my story, and I was like, he's never noted this. So I found like an old post from like when the internet first started, and I was
when
like,
the internet first started.
I clicked on it, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna message him. And at the same time, I was up for a really big role, and I'm out to lunch with my friend, and I was telling her about the really big role. And then I get an email alert, and I'm like, oh my God. She goes, you got the role. I'm like, no, my English teacher wrote me back. So it's just really cool that, he knows that, he's a big part of my creative comedy story.
What? And this is up in New York?
Yeah. Fred
All right,
McKinnon and Lehman High School.
Let's give the high school and the teacher a shout out again.
Yeah. Lehman High School and Fred McKinnon. He's a hippie dude. He always wore Hawaiian t-shirts. It was
Okay.
Yeah, good guy.
Okay, good. So I'm making sure we have a keep a connection. We're turning into a little bit of a robot voice there, so I got a little scared. Want to make sure we hear you.
Is it because I'm outside on nature?
I don't know. You know how it is in Georgia. Things are different down there.
Down there? Where are you?
I'm even downer. I'm down below you in Florida.
How was your geography class?
Good Lord, man. I know. I was thinking about New York. I'm like down there, but I'm like, yeah, I'm below you. What's some of the big things that you've been in over the years, though? That you've been doing this obviously for many years, though. Or like, was it more movies? How did you find more success in on-camera, like commercials, theater?
Yeah, not the face for commercials, although I'm starting to get more of that now because they understand my, comedic timing, improv abilities. So that's the only time I get commercial opportunities. But yeah, mostly television. And then, just doing my own stuff. Like, I have early on, we had Two Naked Men Making a Sandwich, which had a cult following. Now with the Shift Drinks comedy, we've gotten a lot of, views and fan base with that. And we're in the process of pre-production of doing a horror comedy feature based in the restaurant. So it's for servers by servers.
Wow. Okay. Good. And then before we get to Shift Drinks and ATL, how important? Can you tell people how important it might be to follow or take an improv class, or do you think that always gives you a leg up on people with your improv background?
Improv is always a great tool to have for anyone. Most of the people I improvised with on most of my improv teams, I would say half were, in the industry and half were just, improv is just conversations. A lot of times today, people can't have a conversation because they're just stuck to their phone. I'm also a server. And I see people go out to eat and everyone's just on their phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
you could have did this at home. But God forbid you have to get the QR code for the menu on the phone. Then they're like, oh my gosh, no way. I'm not using my phone for that. But yeah, I mean, improv just teaches you how to be a human again.
So now explain real quick this Shift Drinks a website you were talking about.
So Shift Drinks is I'm co-founder of that. It's a restaurant comedy channel where we just do sketch comedy for the restaurant industry.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's kind of like our outlet because, you know, we work in the restaurant industry. So you can't really tell people off there, but you could, you know, take the situations that come up there and make them fun and relatable. And that's just another creative outlet.
And I'm with you. And I like to hear a couple because for 6.5 years, I did the hospitality industry. I worked at a hotel here in Tampa. And mostly the early shift, like 3 a.m., you know, and taking drunk people to the airport. So, and you do have to have an outlet. I mean, some of the stories I used to talk about years ago on stage involved that, just to talk about how bad, you know, like I always said, I mean, I love customer service. The only thing I hated was the customers. Right.
Yeah.
So is there one like story that you guys can agree on, or one that maybe stuck in your mind over the years that you love to use or talk about when it comes to like serving? Because I've never been a server, but I mean, have you anything like that you could share?
Well, one that just comes to mind immediately, because there's millions, and that's the thing. It's like someone on another podcast I was on said, I'm afraid you're going to run out of ideas?" I'm like, nope, never. There's always. But this just happened last night. Someone took my pen. You know, it's like, you know, it's not that valuable, but at the same time, it's so valuable to have your pens. And I wrote a sketch a la inspired by the Taken, you know, that old movie.
Yeah,
and,
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson, yeah. And, you know, it's available online. But, yeah, it's just, you know, we're very protective of our pens.
Yeah.
So, y'all, if you go out to eat, make sure you leave the pen behind for them.
That is funny. You know, you're right. Things like that. And I tell you, man, not just because you're a server and I'm talking with you, I always like to take care of my servers. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if they did a crappy deal, I'm still giving you 25%. If you just did your job in a good deal, I'm throwing a lot of cash at you. So, because I was in that business for a few years, I know what it's like to go home after taking people around for 8 hours and sometimes walking away with literally no tips.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just didn't want to tip you, you know, that kind of thing. So it's a crappy business, man. But you're right though, a lot of stories. So now. First off, when did you go from New York, and what year did you get down here to Georgia?
I've been in Atlanta since 2001, so I'm pretty much
oh, okay.
You know, I've split half my time here. Yeah. So I'm pretty much a Southerner now. I say y'all.
And just to see Georgia, the acting scene, you know, even before like Walking Dead and stuff, but it's great to see things. And I speak out of jealousy because decades ago in Florida, we used to have a lot of acting and filming and movies and commercials here, and we kind of lost it over the years with some stuff and a lack of funding. You know, but I mean, I would love to see it again. But it's great to see the great state of Georgia and surrounding states have success with filming, with movies and shows and TV commercials. It's really, really awesome, man.
And that's the thing too, is like, you know, obviously, you know, it's bigger production coming in because it's, you know, more affordable to get things done. But that's the thing with this day and age, with, you know, the way technology is, with everything, everyone's capable of doing a good product. You know, and that's the whole reason All the Laughs is here, is because a lot of these comedy festivals are just bombarded with name after name after name, and it's like, where is the room and the space for the really funny creators who just need a platform and a chance? And this is where that comes in, is like, you know, we're kind of like the minor leagues of comedy.
Yes.
You know, these are going to be the next up and comers. These are going to be the next people you're going to think about, because everyone thinks this is an overnight success. No, it's a daily grind. Even if you're a working comedian, you're still not a name. You still gotta make sure you fill out that club that night because you're not gonna get called back again. It's every day, and you can kill it one night, and then you can't rest on your laurels because there's always tomorrow. So we're just like the cheerleaders to say, because if you don't wake up every morning going, what the hell am I doing? I shouldn't be doing this. I'm gonna get something better for my return on investment. But at the same time, you do need to be doing this. If this is what you're made to do, you need to do it. So we want to be your cheerleaders to say, keep on going.
I love it. So you're right. No, there's no overnight successes here. Even though the internet stuff, I was just talking to that guy about that just earlier, man. I love hearing, oh, we're selling out the comedy club because this person has 3 million Instagram and TikTok followers. And it's like, yeah, but did you see their comedy much? Well, it doesn't matter because we're going to sell out. And it's like, okay, great. Well, they're going to come in. They're going to have crappy shows experience. Because they're a sucky comedian. They're great for 20-second videos. And then you're going to be like, oh, wow, okay, we'll never see that person again. So I like what you're doing. So you have this idea, All the Laughs Comedy Awards. But I like this because it's not just a comedy festival. And if people want to know, you kind of looked me up capriciously one day. I think you emailed me through my Comedians Uncorked page, and you're like, hey, I noticed you're doing some stuff with comedy and blah, blah, blah. And then we talked. So we just kind of knew each out of the blue. You reached out to me. It's fantastic, man. But that's what we do. Now I love seeing what you're doing. So this is not just a comedy festival, okay, that's going to be in Atlanta this October again. We'll talk about that later. This encompasses a lot of other arts. Can you explain like other just categories and what people can expect from All the Laughs Comedy Awards?
Yeah. So definitely all encompasses anything performance related as far as comedy goes. So, we have films, feature films, short films, film sketch, one-person shows, long-form improv, short-form improv, live sketch, live comedy musicians. Like, if you're a singer-songwriter who does parody music videos, all those, magicians, puppetry, ventriloquists. I would even love, we haven't had any yet, but like burlesque, there's always a comedy aspect to that. And comedy podcasts, right? What comedian doesn't have a podcast now?
True.
So, and last year was really cool. We had a bunch of live comedy podcasts that were performing live. Sean Patton was one of the guests for one of them. And Lace Larrabee was hosting another one, and she's going to be on America's Got Talent again August 9th. So make sure you watch August 9th and vote for Lace Larrabee.
Okay. And what's her first name?
Lace.
Lace Larrabee.
Yeah, Lace Larrabee, yeah.
This is great. And you see now, because it's too late this year, but like I said, All the Laughs Comedy Awards 2023, man, I bet you it would be great to get like maybe a Comedians Uncorked podcast up there and broadcast there for a couple of days and be able to get you on and some of the great talent across the country.
Well, Pat, it's not too late because you have till August 1st to submit for this year's programming. So it's the weekend is October 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And for submissions to be considered for this year up until August 1st.
Nice. Okay, good deal. Good deal. And by what me saying probably not this year, it means I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to see you, Dominic. But next year, it's taking everything I have just to do this podcast with you. No, this is awesome though. But I mean, we want to get up there. I want to just go up there this year and do a few minutes at a club and do some comedy and say hi to you and some of the other great comedians.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. You're in the ATL family.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And you're not even the creepy uncle. You're not even the creepy uncle.
No. All right. Here's my acting. Ready for this? Here we go. Say it again. Say I'm in the family.
You're in the family.
So you love me. You mean you really love me? Oh, Dominic. Not bad, huh?
And this is why we have a panel of judges, so we make sure that.
Dominic, I must tell you, I have a sensual forbearance for bald white gentlemen from the Bronx, New York. Please.
This is where I need that Snapchat filter and give me like long, gorgeous locks.
I think I nailed it. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Dude, that's awesome. And all the categories though that you have, and like you mentioned, this comedy horror movie that you're working on now, right? That's also one of the categories, right?
Yeah. I mean, because comedy and horror just go hand in hand. It's just it's always a fun one for me. And yeah, that's last year there was just so much wonderful content. We had, because I'm a big fan of romantic comedies, and there were so many people that submitted romantic comedies, and just like, basically the art, makes what the programming is, right? Last year I'm also a big fan of news parody, but we didn't get very many strong news parodies, so we just didn't have a news parody category.
Man.
But all of that is welcomed, and if you're good, we're gonna definitely showcase that.
I'm going to write that down too, because first off, we have a thing called Tampa News Force here, where it's parody news, and Clark Brooks and John Jacobs and a bunch of great folks here that do some great stories. I'm going to write that down and let them know, because
please.
Tampa News Force. And then when you mentioned burlesque, it's funny because I know of a couple of ladies in the Tampa Bay area that do that professionally, and they're really good.
Nice.
So I'm just going to write that down as well and let them know, because they won't be able to do it this year, but I'll let them get ready for 23,
Cool. Yeah, then guys can carpool.
Exactly. And I'll have my lock. I'll work on my acting when I go, Dominic, I believe I'm catching feelings for someone, like that. I feel like I have to do.
What a difference a year will make, I hope.
It's so stupid. So, all right, cool, man. So we got that going on, all these categories. And the people, of course, they're going to ask me, and are there industry personnel there? So, like, do you have like any panels of, just judges or people from around the country with different backgrounds and knowledge to also provide information to the competitors and the contestants?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be, we have nothing set in stone yet, but that's definitely going to be a piece of it for this year. And that's one thing we're going to do. We are going to, because last year we were kind of competing with ourselves with having live performances as well as, inside screenings and such at the same time. So now we won't be competing with ourselves, and we're going to have, basically, all your attention is going to be on whatever's going on at the moment. So for industry guests or for performances or for just arts market or just networking or just partying, you're not going to have to be like, oh, but I want to do both.
Right. No, this is awesome, man. I like it. And are you seeing from the first time you did it in 2020, now this being All the Laughs Comedy Awards 2022, an increase in the submissions? And if so, what like is there a certain category where you go, wow, this one has really blown up? Do you recall anything?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I mean, submissions have always gotten better and better, but it's always different. Like, it's interesting because everyone's like, oh, 2020 was such a horrible year, but people got really creative. And now that everything's opened back up, and it's kind of like there's more distraction, more life happening. It seems like people, sometimes I hate to say this, but like just phoning it in type of thing.
Right.
And it's interesting that you know, when other things were taken away from us, we put more into what we can control. So that's what I've noticed
Okay.
in the span of the 3 years.
It's just amazing that it just happened in 3 years the way this is going. And that's what I love about it, man. It's great to see. And this is what we do on the podcast. You know, we have some people on earlier in the season talking about other comedy festivals that need more recognition like this. They're already kind of like, you're only 3 years in. You know, you give this another 3 years, right? And this is going to be like around what people go, oh yeah, the ATL, yeah, we know about this, we know, yeah. It's like it's so exciting, man. So all right, here we go. So I'm a comedian or I'm an actor. I'm seeing this, or I see you on Facebook, and I go, all right, I still got a few days. Let the folks know, Dominick, how they can jump on and be a part of this show here in 2022.
Yeah, so they can go to atlcomedyawards.com or ATL Comedy Awards on Instagram, and the link there to submit. We submit through Film Freeway, which has been a learning curve for especially our live performances, our stand-up comedians, our sketch improv troops. But you can take YouTube links or Vimeo links for you have something online already. All you got to do is make a profile and then submit with your YouTube link. It's as easy as that. And yeah, you have until August 1st. We'll share the Uncorked promo code, which will give everyone the early bird access price.
Okay.
And yeah, and I was going to say something else, but I don't remember.
That's okay. Should we give them the price? What the if they punch in password or code word Uncorked?
Yeah, so it's $19.99, which is the early bird price, which is $30 off, because right now we're at the extended late deadline, I think they call it.
Are people going to be able to view this like a live stream, or what? Anything is going on? Can someone go onto the website and see, hey, my friend's performing, can I see him or her? Or hey, can I see what they're doing in Atlanta for some of this? Is there like a live stream going on?
Now, this is a hybrid event. I just actually had another meeting with our online platform, Spark. Now, as of last year, we had like the networking events and stuff like that as an option.
Okay.
If you're at home, we didn't have any of the live performances, simulcast. That may change in the future. But yeah, like the live comedy, we do want you to support live comedy to actually be there. But there is for those who can't come to Atlanta, October 21st, 22nd, 23rd, there is an online portion where you see all the film content, as well as the networking events and speakers and what have you.
Awesome. And again, that's going to be October 21st, 22nd,
and 20th.
And 21, 22, and 23.
Yes. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep. So that's what I was saying. October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. It's ATL Comedy Awards.com. You have a few days left. Dominick said August 1st is the deadline for that. And as always, Dominick Racano, creator of All the Laughs Comedy Awards. I appreciate talking to you again via Zoom. One of these days I'm going to see you in person, so I can't wait.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if not this year, then definitely next. But hopefully I could drive up. I'm only 8 hours away. Well, the way my girlfriend drives, I'll be there in 6 hours. Holy moly. Got Richard Petty behind the wheel when she drives. Good Lord. I have to wear three underwears when she's driving, just in case. I go, oh, damn, I do something, I just throw out the window. We just keep going. Yeah, she's a little fast. She's a little lead foot. But again, do it, man. ATLComedyAwards.com. If you're not doing it, then tell a friend who's a comic or an actor. Have them go on the website, see what's going on. Dominick and the gang here are putting together so many genres of things. It's absolutely fantastic. And to have this in the southeast part of the country, man, this is great. So Dominick, I love it. All the best to you and all of your help and everyone that's helping you do this. And if I get up there this year, we'll definitely do some stuff live and do some more stuff for the podcast and get all the great Atlanta love out there.
Yes, yes. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Pat.
Cool, man. You bet. Thanks so much, man. And thank you guys for checking out another episode of the Comedians Uncorked podcast. My name is Pat Largo. Laugh, you deserve it. And we'll see you next time.
You're putting up with the Comedians Uncorked podcast, live from the Sunshine State, Florida.
Don't forget to check out our Comedians Uncorked YouTube channel and just click on that subscribe button. Thanks.